Let's bring in our first panel for tonight. I'm delighted that former Speaker of the House, Bronwyn Bishop, is with us, and former Liberal Senator Holly Hughes joins us as well. You two can take turns bashing up the government here. I'll start with you, Bronwyn. How is it that we can go through a full election campaign making stuff up about Medicare, telling lies about Mediscare and what the Coalition would do, and we all know that it's not correct? How can you just actually stand up there and do that day after day?
Because the whole campaign by the Labor Party was based on lies, all of it. I mean, Chalmers told us that the budget was in great shape. After the election, it's not sustainable. But this Medicare thing, there was an opportunity there for the opposition to do something about it. And, you know, at that first debate that Sky conducted, when he held up the card, Peter Dutton said, well, did you also have to use your credit card? And the woman said, yes. Well, let me tell you, I just picked up this. I had to attend a doctor's surgery recently to get a little frozen thing on my wrist. And $130, Medicare benefit, $21. I needed my credit card, not my Medicare card. So the whole contention that the Prime Minister went on with was just one simple, great, big lie. 25% of doctors are not going to do it because they simply can't afford to. So I just didn't understand why the opposition didn't take up the opportunity to have a whole phalanx of demonstrators outside where he was making a statement about his little Medicare card and saying, look, it's not true, we need our credit card. There was an opportunity there for a whole campaign to be framed, but it didn't happen. I just don't know what happened to the campaign for the opposition.
Holly, I mean, Bronwyn's right. This is the second campaign in a row where a Mediscare has worked. So you would think after the Coalition got done over by it the first time around, they would have been ready the second time around and would have immediately jumped on top of Anthony Albanese and say, stop telling lies to people about Medicare.
Yeah, but the problem is, Steve, and Bronwyn is 100% correct, that we have a media who is just completely unable to ever tell the truth or actually highlight the lies that were being told. Medicare bulk billing rates continue to decline right throughout the Labor government's first term of government. And this was absolutely on display for everybody to see. But every time Albanese held up that Medicare card, absolutely no one in the media pack travelling with him ever challenged him. There was no coverage challenging what the actual bulk billing rates are. And the Medicare Scare campaign, unfortunately, I think has done real damage when it comes to the Coalition and their ability to actually have a conversation about Medicare. Medicare is a system that is almost fundamentally broken now. When you look at when it was set up under Whitlam versus now and the developments we've seen in healthcare, particularly preventative healthcare, and how the system is working, it's not fit for purpose. But unfortunately, no one is ever prepared to ever have a conversation about this. And as soon as the Coalition mention Medicare, it turns into Mediscare Mark 2, 3, 4, 5. It is just obscene that Albanese is consistently allowed to get away with these lies. And then after the election, the media goes, oh my goodness, what a shock that this actually is never going to occur. I mean, any blind Freddie that had been following politics the last 3 years could have told you it was never going to occur, but no one ever challenged him about that.
That's why we needed a campaign.
Bronwyn, you would have hoped that Bronwyn, that the AMA, the doctors might have come out and said, well, hang on a minute, this deal's not as good as you're trying to make out it is. We're not going to bulk bill. Why didn't they do that?
Steve, because the AMA, I'm afraid, aren't the AMA that used to be under Brendan Nelson, for instance. Seems to be a different animal these days. And I'm saying that when you're in a fight as the opposition, you as the opposition have to craft your campaign to make the most of to point out to people where the government is telling lies. Now, if you had a demonstration of a few hundred people that you managed to put together, or even 100 people, there's something there that's going to be captured in the mainstream media, even if they don't like the policy.